More and more companies are shifting their factories overseas for cheaper labor. This has been happening for quite some time now. Even so, major retailers like Gap and J.Crew have recently announced massive store closures. This comes, though, as some American-based companies are thriving. And here to tell us about the future of manufacturing in the U.S. is Steve Bach, president of Bedrock Manufacturing. Steve, thanks for coming in this morning.
Thank you for inviting me.
And I know you brought some exceptional examples here of American-made products. But I want to get started by asking you, you're looking at a cheaper labor force overseas, and a lot of the materials are being manufactured overseas, so you've got the cost of importing them to have it made here in the U.S. So what's changed?
Well, what's changed, it can really be done here. It takes a lot of optimism, a lot of hard work, and a lot of dedication, but it is absolutely possible. These bags all come from a company called Filson. F-I-L-S-O-N.
Yes, which I know people that are obsessed with.
They love them. They absolutely love them. Very narrowly distributed around the United States. It's a company that's been in business for 118 years, always out of Seattle, out of the Pacific Northwest, and these bags are all made there. And so we employ people in Seattle. And it's all made out of rugged twill. This bag is $345, and these are both bags that are really embryonic of what the brand stands for.
So if it can be done here in the United States, and you can do it and still have a successful company, why is it that so many companies seem to outsource?
I don't know. You're going to have to speak to those companies about that, but we did very, very successfully. I work for two companies, actually. One is Filson out in Seattle, and the other is a company called Shinola out of Detroit. And in fact, what we're doing with Shinola is actually bringing some factories back into the United States. So we brought a dial manufacturing capability back into Detroit from Taiwan. So it can absolutely be done.
I wanted to ask you, our parent company, ABC News, they have a lot of segments entitled Made in America, and they highlight companies that do just that. They make the entire product from start to finish here in the good old US of A. Does that help your companies?
Absolutely. Every little bit helps. We want as many people talking about it as possible. We've gone in some of these instances on the West Coast in Seattle. We now employ 226 people in Seattle. We just bought a factory in Idaho. We employ just over 60 people there. In Detroit with Shinola, we've gone from 0 people 4 years ago to over 300 people today. And so you can bring people in, and we've done it, and we train them, and they build new careers and new professions. It's a fantastic way to go, and it is absolutely possible.
And I've found that the people who tend to seek out these Made in America products are very passionate about only buying products that are made in the U.S. What is the feedback then from your customers?
You're absolutely right. I think there's a very important key here, and that there are various touch points that are really necessary to make this successful. So you can make things in the United States, but if they're not of the highest quality, if they're not of great design, if they don't have guarantees and warranties behind them, you're missing something very important. So, for instance, we make watches for both companies. Here's one of the watches. Well, look at this. I've actually got two of them, just in case. I didn't want to be late for the segment, you see. So here's a Filson watch, and here's a Shinola watch. Now, we could make them in the United States, but if they didn't come with great design, great quality, great value, and a lifetime warranty, you wouldn't want to buy them. You may buy them once, but you wouldn't come back. But the idea that you get all of these touch points and you do everything successfully makes for a very compelling story.
And quality seems to be really driving
hugely important. Quality is hugely important.
And that's something that you're going to find here in America.
Absolutely.
All right. Okay, great information. We've got the information on our website about more companies where everything is made in America. And as I said, ABC News continues to highlight those companies.
And in fact, one of the things, we're going to open 2 stores here in your city.
No kidding.
So we're going to, absolutely. On 14th Street right now, on 14th and Q is a small Shinola store, which is going to move in September to 14th Street and R. And where the Shinola store was will now be a Filson store. So both companies will have stores in D.C.
I know a lot of people that are going to be very happy about that.
We can hardly wait to welcome there.
All right. Steve Bach, thank you so much. Appreciate you coming in this morning.